and welcome to the Real Show celebratory interviews where we're talking to people who are creating, growing, and accomplishing things even in the middle of a pandemic. And I'm so excited because this young man over here, I have known, dude. I'm not gonna say how many years because I just realized it, but a long time, like a whole bunch of years.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm.
and I think he is amazing, not just an amazing friend, but an amazing person who is doing a lot of things. And I'm celebrating a whole bunch with him. And I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute. But I present to some and introduce to others the amazing Javon Parris.
Wow. Good morning. Good morning. This is exciting. I feel like, when you walk on Carson or Leno or Arsenio, and it's like all you need is like this set that's going to take your career to where it wants to go. Like, this
Uh-huh.
is really exciting. So, thank you for having me on.
I am so excited that you decided to join me, even though I had to kind of cajole and coerce you into it.
Well, listen,
Um,
here's the thing. And, we always keep it 100. Like, you talk to people that like, have songs out, books, albums, starting a business. And then there's me. And I work on myself a lot personally, and I'm doing little stuff. I feel like maybe I should have like a Stellar Award or at least a nomination before I come in this space. But hey, you see something, Black women always have great vision. Are we gonna roll with it and let you decide if this was a good idea? We're gonna have a good conversation. So hello.
but here's the thing, like, this is not just about like people who won awards or whatever. It is people who are accomplishing things, whether it's a huge leap or the first and second steps.
Yeah.
So because people are in every area of life, they might need to take that first or second step. And this is an opportunity to share hope in the process, especially during this year, because this year is
2020.
crazy. It's been crazy. Just all kinds of things have happened. So let's share hope on the spectrum, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. If you are accomplishing something, however small you think it is, or however big you think it is, that's what we're here to do.
Do you remember those memes? And I'm not gonna get you off track because I promise I can do that. We can cut up. You remember those memes like toward last half of 2019, like, oh, 2020 is my year. 2020 is gonna be perfect. 2020. Yeah, those didn't age well at all.
Not
At
at all.
all.
Oh, good grief.
People were
But
posting pictures. Oh, I'm going to Greece. I'm going this place. I'm gonna start 8 businesses. I'm opening up 3 restaurants. And now people are like, where is 2021, please? What happened?
dude, why'd you have to say something about Greece though?
I'm sorry. I hit a nerve because yeah, I'm sorry. You probably my motivation for that because you had talked about that. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm
It's
sorry.
okay. I'll get there one day.
We'll get there one day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's gonna happen.
I will. So while I gather myself together, let's tell the people a little bit about
Yeah, let's
yourself.
do that. What does that do? Does it really help?
It does. It fans the tears back.
Okay, got it. Yes, I'm sorry. We this is get used. Hello, is this thing on? Get used to this because we just gonna cut up. This is gonna be a heck of an edit for your girl. We cut up.
Oh,
So
I'm not editing
oh,
nothing.
this is
All
going
of
on
this
like
is
it is.
all of
Okay.
this is going.
Oh, okay. Got it. Got it. Okay.
So go ahead, tell us about yourself.
Oh, about myself. Let's see. I'm a Pisces. Okay, no, I'm playing. I am a Pisces. We are Pisces. I think that's part of why we get along. If you believe in the zodiacs or whatever. But no, I am a 3-year-old man in the Washington D.C. area, born and raised, and father of 3 beautiful boys. My middle child turned 16 today. Yes, Daniel is 16. I know, right? I know. Yes. Get that look off your face. Do the math. One, two, four, five, 16. Yes. Yes. And I love him to death. Yeah. Jeffrey's about to be 18. Daniel's 16 today. Yeah, Jeffrey, that little baby you held. Yeah, he
I'm
is.
not ready for it.
I'm sorry. Did I start the tears again? Yes. So this is again testament to how long we've known each other. My 6'3", size 16 shoe wearing son, she held as a baby. Yep. So yeah, so I'm doing dad stuff, and virtual learning has been really interesting.
Mm.
My 13-year-old is now a ninth grader, and it was difficult for him. Yes, I know. Stop making those faces.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I was
You're making me feel old.
sorry.
Yeah, virtual learning has been more of a challenge for him. So we've been trying to just come up with different remedies and get things started. You know, you don't take. I think as parents, and I'm going to speak for myself. You know, we remember what it was like coming up and doing all these things in a traditional setting, and have to realize that when we didn't see our friends, when we couldn't go outside, when we couldn't do whatever, like it affected us. And that's why it was a big punishment. Like you can't talk on the phone, you can't go outside. It was a punishment, and
Right.
it's just like life. You know what I'm saying? So we have to keep that in mind when the distance learning isn't going so well. So I've been trying to encourage him with that, and he turned it around. So I am now a proud dad who has 3 honor roll students after the first quarter of schooling.
Woo,
Um,
woo.
I'm a editor and a producer at National Public Radio. Occasionally, you'll hear me on air doing some news spots. Usually, if it's warranted and there's like nobody else available, it's like Motown back in the day when it was like, man, we need a song, and then you find Lionel Richie down the hall. He comes down and it's like, yes, I'll do what you do. It's like that was me, and so it's like we'll do a spot, and it's like we just excited to have a couple of opportunities, not really knowing that this is what I do. Like me as a person who's on the microphone, and so in this element of my career, like being a producer and an editor, and critiquing and pruning others' works, I don't get a chance to get on the mic as often. But when I do it, like I know how to do it. And so people write like, "Oh, you sound so good. You need to do this more." I'm like, "Relax, relax." Like this is like I was doing this a quarter century ago. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's like riding a bike. This is like the easiest of stuff to do. But I'm looking to get back into it more. Maybe there's an opportunity for it, particularly in these podcast streets. To just get your voice out and do stuff. So yeah, I'm a dad. I'm a producer and an editor. Um, I am a new or recently healed physically person. I had to have a emergency hernia surgery in July, and it cleared up a lot of issues that was going on with me personally. And I feel much better and having a healthier lifestyle as a result. And hopefully you'll see less of me this time next year, just because I'm on the road to doing things the right way finally, taking better care of my body. So yeah, it's been that's pretty much me. And I feel like I answered your question, but you know me, I can talk about everything but myself. So if you want more information, feel free to follow up.
I will have a little bit. But the thing I want to let people know, so I met Javon all these years ago uh, at Heaven 1580.
Oh, be free, Leisha. Give the year. Release yourself. Don't be trying to be all cool.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Okay, who was president when we met? Who was president? Let's do it like that.
Was it George Bush? Was he
I think it might be. I
president?
was about to say, was it still Clinton? But I don't think we technically met until it was Bush. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Wait, it was 2001. Fall of
Okay.
2001
Then it was Bush. Okay. Yeah.
is
Yeah.
when I met you
Okay.
doing my internship
Ah, yes.
in the production studio.
Yes. The good old days. Let me tell you something. And I don't know how many other people, 15, 80 people you had on. And shame on them because they should have paid us more. So I'm putting this out there. CBS Radio, $6 an hour was atrocious. $6 an hour. $6 an hour is atrocious and not a way to make a living. But when I tell you, I've never had more fun being so broke than at Heaven 1580. I mean, those production studio sessions right across from the on-air studio time,
Right.
it was just so much fun.
It
And I
was.
would have done it for free, but I would have never told him that because I pretty much was doing it for free. You know what I'm saying? But I'd have done it for free. Like it was really, it was really that fun. And so when you get, and we had such a talented staff, and just
Yes,
being in
we
that
did.
environment with other people, talented people making talent, yourself included, like it was a great, it was an opportunity for friendships to cultivate, and it was just a tremendous time in my life. And I really wish we had been on the ball enough to do that thing on a larger scale because we had a top tier talent base at that spot. It was a great place to be.
It was. It
Yeah,
was. And we did so much. Like, I was kind of shy, maybe a lot of shy. And
I can't believe it either, y'all, but it's true. True story.
anyway, but
I'm only
as
saying
shy
that
as I
because you now host a podcast. So how can you not say it's unbelievable to somebody to look at you now and be like, she was shy?
dude, I'm still shy, but we'll talk about that later, or maybe we won't.
Okay, okay.
So, but I always wanted to be wherever we were. So, Spirit of Washington, or for Sisters Only, or wherever we were. Like I always wanted to be in the mix. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. And my parents are like, it's $6 an hour. What are you doing? Driving from Springfield, Virginia to Landover, Maryland.
Right? The whole check is in gas. You gone. What are you doing right now? Couldn't even afford the little snacks in the vending machine because you had to ride home. Like, it was atrocious. It's atrocious. Shame on you, CBS. Shame on you. Sorry, go ahead.
Hopefully they won't look at this and take it down. So
I'm sorry. Are they like a parent company for this media platform?
no, we're good. We're good.
I'm sorry. Should I stop ragging on CBS now? I'm sorry. Have I said CBS enough? Sorry. Is this enough slander and liable laws that I'm breaking? Sorry. If
Hush
I
before I make it before I make it
platform,
a tag in this video.
if I totally ruin your platform and get lawyers on you, I'm sorry. I have no money for you. I have none. I really don't. And I will feel really bad, but I will write you dozens of letters every month.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. I
absolutely.
appreciate
Absolutely. And you look good in orange, so I think it'll be fine. Fine.
that. Oh, okay. Moving along.
Yeah.
Because, dude, I've only asked you one thing.
Oh, this is gonna be 3 hours. I don't know what you're talking about. I hope you blocked out your morning. I hope you blocked out your morning. This is gonna be 3 hours of nonsense. That's why I thought you were editing it down. Like, I don't know how to behave.
Nope.
I'm
Nope.
sorry.
Nope. Next question
Yes,
is
ma'am.
what are we celebrating this year for you?
You know what? I got into it a little bit with the first question, but I'm celebrating growth. Um, I am, um, and this is like, where's the where's the exclusive breaking news thing? Because this is news to even you. I don't think I told you, but I'm in my first relationship in a long time.
No, you didn't tell me this.
Yes. And so I've grown a lot. Like um, and people know me. Like I married when I was 23, divorced, separated 30, divorced at like 33. And when you try to date in your 30s, like it's rough. It's
Yeah.
rough dating in your 30s. And I can only speak for guys, especially when you're not ready and you're brokenhearted. Like you do a lot of wasting of time. You don't intend to waste time, but you do a lot of wasting of time. Like not in a malicious way, but because you're not secure enough within yourself to let the young lady know that you're growing and your heart is like trying to piece itself back together. So you say you're further along than you are, and then when it comes out that you're not, you end up just wasting whatever time is put. You know what I'm saying? Things end badly. So I've been a habitual time waster.
Hmm.
And I have come now to a truth that I am good enough and worthy enough of love, and have now allowed myself to receive it and be honest with where I am, and it's been working out well. So I would say that's been probably my biggest accomplishment of 2020 is coming into my own as a man, and I'm now 42, and I'm happy to meet myself. It's you know what I mean. I guess I spent so much time trying to figure out who I was, and just someone who now can be honest with himself, understand that communication is key and laughter is key, which is why I try to do both. And putting God first above all. And it's been a great year. So things are moving forward. Coming out of the hernia surgery, like I said, which I had, and with a better diet and a better outlook and a better like perspective on wanting to be around for the future. You know what I'm saying? And like not accepting the fact that average black man dies at 48 anyway. You know what I'm saying? And getting rid of that outlook and just treating myself like the worthy person that I am. That's been my biggest growth, even in the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? So it took this year to sort of be like shut in and locked away from the world and all of its expectations and all of its stuff to really look at who I was. And stuff is opening up, like personally, professionally. And so it's just the first step, but you have to be honest with yourself to understand where you are in the process.
Right.
And I would say that's been my biggest growth. Not sure if that's the answer he was looking for, but hey,
But that is worthy of celebrating
yeah,
because, with all of the upheaval of this year and all of the things we've experienced, even for you and the surgeries and all and the health thing, um, holistically, just growth in mindset, in relationships, in you know work and business and all of those things, that is absolutely worth celebrating. So
yeah.
thank you for sharing that with us so we can celebrate your growth. Now, do know that after we stop recording, I'm gonna need to know some details, okay? Just putting that out there now. So and I know it, I don't know if it took the pandemic for you to start your growth thing, but did you see yourself growing like you have at the beginning of the year?
Honestly, I didn't. And I don't think it. I think it was sort of those. I don't know the right word for it, but it just sort of it was not a happenstance, but in spite of like I don't think it was the pandemic that caused it. I think it was just sometimes, as the old church mother say, you just get sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I think that was it for me. Like I was blessed. I'm in the DC area now. In December of 2018, I actually moved to Dallas, Texas. And I thought that that was going to be the start of the next chapter. I was in my 40th year and an opportunity came up. I love the South. I said, well, let me jump on it and see where it goes. And then I got down there. I was much further away from my kids, and they were anticipating coming down and maybe possibly moving. And I was like, just because me and my ex-wife didn't work out, now do I want to make them choose where they want to live? And this is like a completely far part of the country. And even if they had chosen to move, like, did I really win anything? Because now it takes two. Like, they give you parents for a reason. I think they give you a mom and a dad for a reason. And I
Mhm.
don't want to offend any same-sex parents, but I think they give you naturally a mom and a dad for a reason because you need both. And regardless of whether or not the relationship works out, they still need both influences in their life. And I wasn't comfortable with having them so far away from their mom. And so that was the biggest factor in me coming back to the area. And I'm glad I'm here. And so, you know, I think that started like the realization that moving back for a bigger purpose than just myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it hit me when we were having a virtual graduation ceremony for William, who graduated 8th grade, and just watching him be at peace and at joy and having finished that journey with the rest of his classmates, even though he had to finish it virtually, watching how happy he was and like, man, I almost took that away from dude and made him come finish up his schooling in another city and state, which should have been fine. Like, we're resilient. I think we as Black people, it's in our DNA to be
Right.
resilient. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's soul food or, making it from scraps or, taking ugly fashion and making it good. Like we as Black people are resilient and we can make work anything you give us. But
Mm-hmm.
when you don't have to, like I was glad he was able to finish that journey with his friends. So that in that moment, everything I had gone through, the move and come back, and even the health issues at all was like, okay, this was worth it. This is why I'm here. And yeah, I feel like I'm talking about my kids a lot, but I'm proud of them. Like they my joy. Like I love them.
And they're awesome. Like they're accomplishing things, at their young ages,
Yeah,
which I'm not going to mention again because then I'll get emotional. But as a parent, there's really no greater joy than to see your children thriving
yeah,
and doing well. Like, I'm just going to put this story in because we're talking about kids. The other day, Gavin and I were helping deliver some Thanksgiving baskets, and with another family, and he walked outside with that family, and I was coming from behind, and these two ladies, they were like, "Oh, these young men." There was a young man in the other family, and they were like, "These young men are so respectful. That little one, he's just so, you know, friendly and I'm like, "Thank
right,
you. That
right,
was mine. He's mine."
right. Yeah, yeah.
It's like, wow, that's my kid.
Yep,
I
yep.
had a part in that.
Exactly. And you
Of
did, and you should definitely, own your part in that. Like, he's not that kid with a different mom. You know what I'm saying? So own that. Like that's unique to you. Take that.
I did, and it's such a great joy that our kids are thriving,
Yeah,
even in a pandemic with all of this stuff that's going on. That our kids are still on the honor roll. I just got Gavin's report card. We'll talk about that later. But he did all of his school grades, math and English and stuff, all A's and B's.
yeah.
That conduct grade is another thing.
Look,
So
okay. Respectfully didn't do this because I know it's a sensitive topic, but you are in Florida. Your state is crazy. Is crazy. Why the fact that your kid is even in school, and I get that, you know, it's a challenge to have your kids at home. I get that. They really need to have a plan in place to be able to shut the country down, but also provide economically for those people that are losing work. That's where the stimulus should be. Like it's going to cover your expenses, your mortgage, your rent, your electric. Because now you're forcing us to be at home, but now you're not giving us means to be at home. But Florida, your crazy state of Florida, which is home base for the Paris clan. My last name comes from Jacksonville. And so I'm supposed to love it, but they are crazy. I'm about to get flagged again. Governor DeSantis, you are a nut. What are you doing? Do a better job. These kids should not be in school passing all this stuff around. Listen, you a parent. I'm a parent. Your kid wakes up with a runny nose. You got to be to work. You've never sent your kid to school with a runny nose knowing they had a runny nose. We've all done it. Imagine that times 52 in a pandemic. They sending kids out sick all the time, mixing in with the other kids. I'm sorry. Don't get me started on this. Don't get me started on. You know what? I'm already here.
yeah,
Your state is crazy. So the fact that Gavin Michael is succeeding in the state of Florida, big up to him. Big up to him. Love that dude. He's a phenomenal dude. With all this pressure, having to wear a mask, and the classroom has like a haze of yellow in it. It's just, like, what are we doing?
yellow.
Huh?
Uh, you know.
Was that racist? I'm sorry. I didn't mean this. I didn't mean it like that. I really didn't. I really didn't. I just realized when you stopped me, I probably shouldn't have said that. But you know what I'm trying to say.
I do.
Don't
But the point is, our
don't
kids are
have any.
thriving in a pandemic.
Yes, they are.
All right. Okay. Next question.
She's never
I
having
see.
me
I'm just
back
gonna
on.
have to
I'm
go.
sorry.
I'm just got to look, or just read the questions over here on
You are
this
never
list.
having
So
me back on. I'm so sorry. I warned you. I warned you.
you did. You
I
did.
said no twice because I don't have any sense. I said no twice. So now you're in it, and good for you.
And we're here. It's all right though. This, at some point we need to be here.
Yeah.
So next question is, what was your greatest hurdle, and how did you overcome it?
My greatest hurdle was myself. And I overcame it by finally believing the angels that God had sent in my path. And I speak about, it's twofold. One is finally loving myself enough to say, hey, your body's a temple. Maybe you need to do something about it. And two, finally overcoming not even a fear, but just like ignoring the lack of a desire to do on air stuff because I had gone down this producer. And you know what it's like when you working in radio and you decide, well, I want to do producer stuff more than be on air. It's like that. Yeah, people people can hear you more when you're on air, but it's like the allure after a while loses its whatever. You just want to do what makes you happy.
Right.
And when I had the opportunity to do a couple of news spots initially at NPR, I sort of shrugged them off like, man, somebody else can do it. Somebody else can do it, because it just wasn't. It didn't hold enough allure for me. You know what I mean? But I did it, and I was like, you know what? That felt kind of good. I remember what that tasted like. That felt kind of good. And not only do people tell you you do it well, but that you told a good story and it was clear and they could understand what you were saying. Like, well, do I sound good? I did a good job. I like what that tastes like. You know what I mean? So I had to come over, get over myself, and understand that sometimes God presents opportunities to you and people in your life for you to hear things that He's been trying to let you know, even though this may not be your comfort lane anymore, this is where I want you to be. And how about you hear my words and be where I want you to be? I want you to be in a healthier place than you are. Maybe I want more people to hear your voice than are currently hearing it. You know what I mean? So getting over myself was the biggest hurdle and being like, okay, I got it. I submit. I hear what you're saying. I'm just going to walk in this. And I think, we oftentimes have all the tools we need in us already. We just don't know which tool to grab out of the toolbox because the toolbox has been like not being up on a shelf and being dusted. It's in a corner and it's got rust on it, and we don't even want to deal with it because it hasn't been nurtured. But inside, deep within us, are all the tools we need. We just have to know to open up the toolbox.
That's good.
Yeah.
That'll preach somewhere.
You know what I'm
Uh,
Look, the Paris is a preachers. I get it honest. I don't even be trying, but my dad was a preacher. My uncles are preachers. I think probably a couple cousins in Jacksonville that are preachers or ministers of music or whatever. So, I get it honest. I can, give me a tambourine and an organ. I might do some things. You know what I mean? I'm sorry.
So I know
I
you alluded to it a little
alluded
bit.
it. Yeah, I did alluded it. I'm sorry. Continue.
I know you alluded to it. That's right. Right. See, now you got me questioning what I'm saying. Uh, shoot. I know you alluded to it previously, but what have you learned about yourself in the process?
I learned that I am worthy of happiness and love. And it's not a bad thing and not something I should. I'm not gonna cry, but I tend to break things. You know what I mean? Both actually, like I used to break my toys all the time, and then with the exception of like one or two like people who I really don't communicate with as much as I should. So we still call ourselves boys, but if we probably spend enough time around each other, we probably would have a falling out. I tend to break things. I tend to break relationships. I annoy people. People get sick of me because, and I think it's sick of the lack of esteem that I have in myself. And I think that becomes a turn off to people because, like, look, dude, I wouldn't be around you if you wasn't cool. Like, just be chill. And so, but seeing yourself worthy of people's company and good things coming to you, that takes just acknowledging the fact that yes, I too should have these things. Is what I learned about myself, that I enjoy this feeling that I have. And whereas something I initially felt like I wouldn't recognize, and I didn't recognize it at first, but now that I'm sort of in it a little bit, like
Mhm.
it feels good, and I want more of it, and you know, I'm constantly evolving, which I think we all are. And I don't know what 4 years from now, 5 years from now is going to look like, but it doesn't concern me anymore because as long as I'm walking on this path that I think God wants me on, He's got it all laid out.
Mm.
And I'm only going to focus on the work and not worry about if it's something that I'm going to mess up, if that makes any sense at all. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because we, um, especially when you've been hurt and you don't address it properly, you operate from a hurt space until you recognize, hey, I've been hurt. I need to work on healing in this space so that I can allow better and greater things to come about.
I don't know if it's the same with women, but I know with me, like anything that showed vulnerability was like not something I was interested in at all. So in order to admit you're hurt, you have to, be vulnerable enough to accept that. And so, like, nah, I grew up watching Nino Brown and all these alpha males. I'm gonna have all of this. Like I'm be strong. And I'm not crying and I'm not showing no hurt. And you really only hurting yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, uh, I don't know where I was going with, but no, when you come from a hurt space, you're right. You don't allow. It's not an authentic space. Even no, let me take that back. If you're hurt in an authentic space, but you're not being acknowledged and acknowledging the hurt that you have, then you're coming from an inauthentic space. You know what I mean? Because hurt
Right.
is part of who you are that
Right.
needs to be addressed and dealt with. And to get through, you got to go through it. All those things the preachers used to tell you, like it's true. It's really true.
Right.
I'm sorry, I cut you off. Go
Oh
ahead.
no, no, it's fine. Like, and that's really what I was going for is that, you know, in anything, whether you've been hurt in a relationship or you've been hurt in at work or at church or
Fired, been not promoted, been whatever. Yeah,
all of these things,
yeah,
like you when you don't heal from that hurt or don't recognize that as a hurt and do the work to heal, because it's not just, you know just like a scab. If you cut yourself, you get a scab. If you keep picking the scab, it's not going to heal properly. And with our emotions and with things like that, we we don't want to feel the heal. Like, the healing hurts. When you get a scab, it gets itchy, it might hurt, it pulls the skin in, it's all of these things, and we don't want to feel that, so we get that off.
right,
No, but that is part of the healing process.
right,
And we have to allow ourselves that space to hurt so that we can heal properly.
yeah.
So we're not damaging the same scar, or we're operating from, you know, this this space that we haven't addressed properly.
And healing properly, sometimes it can be properly healed, but still leave a scar. You know what I mean? And that scar sometimes is ugly, but it's healed, and it's just a reminder of what happened to you, not a definer of who you are. You know
Right.
what I mean? Yeah. Preach that. Write that down. Preach
I'm
that.
looking
Preach
at
that.
this scar. See the scar on my hand right here?
I see it.
that is a reminder for me not to use a box cutter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Yeah.
remember when I got this car, I remember I was trying to cut the tag off my brand new bike, and it was hard. And I was like, oh, well, if I hold it this way, then I'll be able to cut through. I done cut through the tag,
Yeah.
the plastic, and my hand all at
Oh,
the same time.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I remember, trust, I won't do that again.
Yeah.
I won't do that in that way.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. It's a lesson. Scars can be valuable teachers.
They can be,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right, last question, sort of.
Yeah.
We'll see. So,
I'm sorry I'm messing this up. By the way, go ahead.
no. This has been good conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, it took us a while to get to the questions, but it's okay. So, last question: what encouragement would you give to someone who is experiencing 2020?
Uh, be be knowledgeable. Is the first thing. And where I'm going with that is like believe. Say what you want about what news you watch. What uh, the virus is real, and I'm not here to be an COVID, anti-vaxxer, none of that. The virus is real. Whatever news outlet you watch may put more or less urgency on it, but it's real. So don't, you can talk all day long about what the government is doing with how they take advantage. Look, America's been a people taking advantage of opportunities since its founding. So I'm not surprised at all that we are using a very real situation like a pandemic to make it partisan, to have people make money, all these different things. And I get why people are skeptical, but don't lose fact of it that it's real. So the first thing to encourage you is to be smart and be safe. Like you matter. You matter enough to wear a mask. You matter enough to not want to be infected or to infect others. So be safe. And the next thing is to try to laugh when you can. Like I think that's what's gotten me through a lot. And I'm by no means a comedian by trade, but I try to I you know I try to I used to try to make people laugh as like not therapy, but like because I didn't want people to get too close to the real me, and it was my efforts to like if I keep this thing surface level and distant with a joke, then you won't really inspect me and see how much maybe pain I'm in or are you being real? Are you okay? But try to laugh as much as you can because laughter really is good therapy. Like when I was um, in the hospital and in pain and had to have this surgery, like my kids would send me memes and jokes all the time, and it really helped me when the medicine wasn't kicking in to be able to laugh a little bit. So um, be vigilant, be serious with the 2020 and everything that's going on. It's real, but if you just do what you have to do and focus on yourself, and your loved ones um, need it, but we're in a time now where we're really in a period of isolation on purpose. Take that time to really determine where you are, both inside your mind and in physical space, and if it's a place where mental health needs to be addressed, hey, address it. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
sometimes not everybody does well with isolation. I happen to be one who does well with it. I think probably you too, to a certain extent. That's why we got in the careers that we're in. Sometimes all we need is ourselves and a microphone to sort of make things work.
Right.
Not everybody else, not everybody is good at that. So sometimes like, this has been really hard on a lot of people this pandemic. And like we're doing now, like we're talking, we are thousands of miles apart. There's a therapist who can talk to you. There's a pastor who can talk to you. There's another friend on the other end of Zoom that can talk to you and just. But you have to. The trick of the enemy is to make you think that you're the only one going through it, no one else will understand, and it keeps you bound.
Right.
And if you just, open up a little bit, not only can you receive, but you can give. Because I guarantee you that element that you have to offer the person that seems totally accomplished, they needed what you got. You know what I mean? And vice versa. Like you need to get from them, they need to get from you. And we're all a part of this pie to get to 100%. Like we're not in and of ourselves going to be able to make up the whole pie. But if I
Right.
can but if I offer my 4% to you, maybe I'm getting, the 96% accomplishment you have from me, but you needed from me the courage to just say what was in my heart. And now we can make a complete pie. You know what I mean? So don't be it's not easy, but try not to be. I won't say don't be. Try not to be one who becomes so discouraged by your lot in life that you stop trying. Like to say don't give up is very easy to say, but it's very hard to put in action. But
Right.
I promise you, if you do a little bit every day and build on it, results will show themselves eventually. And I am a testimony. Like I wouldn't try to give you any BS on it because I'm seeing it. I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but I can even tell by my 2 steps that I've taken, looking back, like, man, those 2 steps were a big 2 steps for me. And I'm only just getting started. Like I got a lot more steps to get to, but now at least I know I can climb. You know what I mean? So just that would be my only advice.
And that's great advice because, like I said in the beginning, like, whether you've taken leaps and bounds or you've taken 2 steps, like, I want to celebrate progress because you you're making it and you're making it happen and you're moving forward. And that is something to be celebrated. Like, don't diminish the fact
Yeah.
downplay the fact that you are moving forward, that you are making strides, whether that is a, a leap or a baby step. At least you're moving forward, and that is really the essence of this: is to share, shout out, and showcase what people are doing.
Did you just make that up? Or is that like your
No,
slogan?
that just came out. That just came. Look at me.
Oh, that's so dope. Share, shout out, and showcase. I love it.
Thank you for saying it again because I didn't remember what I just said. It was just flowing.
I feel you. I feel you. That was awesome right there.
Hold on, let me write that down.
Hey, go ahead, please write it down. Share, shout out, and showcase.
Thank you for
Yep.
saying it. I'm gonna say it again. That's gonna be my little catchphrase now.
Please, please use it. That is awesome.
Well, thank you, Javon, for doing this with me. I so appreciate you.
Again, I love you to pieces, Lisa. And I'm not going to tell how long it's been, but people can do math. It's been a minute that we've known each other. But to see you flourish in what I saw all them years ago in that production studio. And like you said, I know there's more coming. This is just like another baby step. You've been making those steps for years, and I can't tell you how excited I am to see all the increments of each of those steps. Like it's a joy to behold and watch. And you're phenomenal people. And thank you for letting me be a part of this step. And I could tell people I knew you win. I can't wait.
Wait, you have been telling people that already?
Just playing. Of course I tell Of course I tell people that. I pick up you all the time. If you'd have been only willing to use the name I gave you for that show years ago, yeah,
Sir, wait
I'm,
a second.
I'm
Wait a
spitting on
second.
it. I'm
Let,
spitting
let's
on it
let's address this right now.
right now.
So, years ago, Javon gave me the name of a show entitled Unleashed, with my name in the middle, Unleashed. I'm just gonna say I I didn't get it at the time.
Fought it. Fought it. Bit my ear like Mike Tyson. Fought it. Like, no.
I did. But this year is when I embraced it and accepted it. Then the whole joint shut down. Okay. So
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be unleashed. 41 unleashed. And then the whole country shut down. So I'm like,
Yeah, maybe it wasn't a good idea for a reason. I feel you.
Literally the weekend of my birthday, that whole joint shut down.
It sure was the weekend of your birthday. The whole country just shut down.
And
How do you
so
feel? Do you feel some kind of way about that?
I do.
We've never talked about this, but
We haven't.
yes, that was that weekend.
I was telling my cousin the other day. I was like, look, I declare this is, I'm gonna be unleashed, and then the whole country shut down. I was like, okay, what Jesus? I meant me, like doing stuff, like being
You stay
not
on
like a global pandemic. I
stay on that
maybe
leash. That's what the guy was like. Look, like Morgan Freeman voice. You need to stay on that leash. Enough. Leash nonsense. You fought it for years. Well, now stay on it. That was a dumb idea. That was a dumb idea Javon had. You shouldn't have bought into it, and now I have to shut the whole world down to show you how dumb it was.
but you know what? No, because like I really had to um get rid of stuff so that I could do these podcasts, so I could do something different because it was something I needed to do so that I could release some of the things I was holding on to and really fully walk in what God is calling me to do.
Yeah.
So, thank you. I didn't know it was going to take a global pandemic for it to happen, but thank you for sharing that so many years ago.
Yeah.
And
It was, it was just a seed. It was just a seed. You know what I mean? There's been plenty of water, but it was just a seed. So I'm you're welcome.
I can't fool with you. Anyway, tell the people your social media so they can find you.
So on all platforms, and by all, I'm not on many. It's just Twitter and Instagram. I am JEA Paris, and Paris has two R's. JEAPARRIS on Twitter and Instagram. Come have fun or be disgusted. Who knows? It depends on you. But I think we'll have a good time.
Oh goodness. All right. Thank you again, Javon, for being part of it. And thank you all for watching this show today. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe because we have more videos coming forth. And I'm excited about what is going to take place. And until next time, you guys have an amazing day. Bye.